Hey, Salakia. So, Salakia. But, anyways, right? So, Deuteronomy 28 and 50. It says, "A nation of fierce countenance which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young." Okay, now, dealing with America, right? Now, when we were here in this, our people were enslaved here in this country, okay? They had elderly people, elderly Jake, elderly Israelites working in the fields, man. You know, um, watch this. Let me just see if I can type it in. It says some slaveholders assigned trusted elderly male slaves to be drivers for field laborers, positions that were rewarded faithful bondsmen and capitalized on the slaves community for its older members. Okay, you know, but you see the right now this picture here. Look at this. Okay, so this is a picture, right? It said from the no, it said what? Let's read it again. "A nation of fierce countenance which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young." Okay? Now you see, even the young, you got, look at this, man. Even little children working out in the field. Okay? And I believe, and that's on history.com. Now, we type this in. All right, it says here, boys and girls under 10 assisted in the care of the very young enslaved children, or worked in, or, so I'm going to read it again. It says, boys and girls under 10 assisted in the care of the very young enslaved children, or worked in and around the main house. From the age of 10, they were assigned to tasks in the field, in the nailery and textile workshop, or in the house. Okay? Um, Wait, let me just make sure this is dealing with America. Okay. Wait a second, because it says Monticello. I'm guessing it does because it says Jefferson here. But either way, okay, even if this specific article isn't talking about it, but you just saw the picture, okay? You know. Oh, look at this. It's the cruel ways. Huh, man. You know, this probably is a lesson in itself. It says the cruel ways black babies and toddlers were treated during American slavery should make you cry. And let's get right to it. Newborns were enslaved at birth. It's important to note that babies and toddlers were also enslaved. Many were deliberately bred for such purposes. From their tiny breaths, they were not human, but were chattel property, fully and legally owned by a human trafficker. Virginia, Maryland, and a few other states were infamous for being slave breeding states. After the Atlantic slave trade was abolished in 1808, slavery itself wasn't abolished until 1865, though no longer able to import black Africans but still able to enslave them. Many plantation owners added breeding to their revenue streams, particularly in areas where the land was no longer producing strong crops. Some simply changed their business model to breeding human beings in order to supply the crucial labor needed for the success of newly added states and territories like Louisiana, all right, etc. Okay, so they're not gonna let me Oh, let me read this. It says these children literally came out of the womb with a price tag attached to them. They were commodities to be bought and sold. That reminds Deuteronomy 28 and 68. All right. Well, I mean, they had us on auction and blocks, but even then, they would still, auction off little kids and stuff. Okay. But this is going, but this also goes, into the Romans as well, 70 AD. Because you read down, it tells you about the besieging, okay, and the everything that happened during the 70 AD siege, all right. But this devil, man, that national eagle, you should understand, about that. You should already know about that, man. All right, because it's one of the curses that we went into slavery under this devil, man. All right, the Lord had it set up for America, okay, to come into power. It's a part of prophecy that this meant that America is the country that it is. Okay, and it's going to be destroyed. See, these devils want you to forget about that history. All right, but the Lord don't forget about it. This is Revelation, the 18th chapter. I'm going to start from the top. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great, which is America. Okay, if you don't already know, there's lessons out there on that. Okay, but this is in Revelation 17 breaks it down. Okay, it says, if you want to understand it, just go on YouTube, Revelation 17 breakdown GMS. Just type that in. All right, but it says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, meaning destroyed. Saying which Babylon the Great is America. So America is destroyed. It says it's destroyed. It says it's fallen, but it means destroyed. It says, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Because after America is destroyed and the fire and smoke clears, this place is going to be, ain't nothing going to dwell here but desert animals. And various scriptures say that. Okay. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of fornication. Okay. Because America has pushed its ways and its philosophies on these other countries and nations around the world. Right. It says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Okay. Shalakia. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, so like a whore takes a rod, for multiple men, America is the biggest importer in the world. Different leaders of the world have committed fornication with America by exporting their goods to America, and America takes it in and imports the good. That's why when you look on the tags of for example, clothing, if you look on the tags of clothing in this country, it's going to say it's from another country or place around the world. You see, it says, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Okay, there you go. All right. The nations became rich through selling their goods to America. And once again, as I was saying, you look on a tag of piece of clothing, it'll say it's from around the world. And this is how the countries around the world have waxed rich, and became rich off of America. America's like, it's a cash cow for them. Okay. So we understand this is talking about America, all right, and it's about to go into its destruction. Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And a lot of other different Israelite camps will say that this is talking about come out of the ways of America, but this is not what it's talking about. What it's talking about is getting beamed up into the chariot. Okay, real quick. Precept, Revelation 11 and verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Okay. So just talking about getting beamed up, because one of those plagues is the missiles. The missiles are regarded as a plague. Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. That is what a nuclear missile can do that. All right. So that's what it's talking about. Revelation 18 and 4 again. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Whose sins? America's sins, right? Verse 5. For her sins, America's sins, have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. So, from the time that America was founded, all the wickedness it's done, even up to now, all of that, it says the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. And if you could type on Google, all right, was America's original sin, I believe Apostle Gabar was going into how America's original sin is slavery. All right, they want you to forget about that. But the scriptures say here, the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Let me type that in real quick. What is America's original sin? says our nation's long and sad engagement in atrocious business of slavery has long been referred to as America's original sin. There you go. It's slavery. That is the original sin of America. Okay? Verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. Okay? So, the people that's in charge of this place, the people that control America, which is Esau, hey, in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to reward her. We're going to reward the Edomites how they rewarded us, and they rewarded us with slavery. See? Verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am a widow, and shall see no sorrow. Verse 8, because America, it says shall see no sorrow, because America, all right, is, you see that attitude in these people, all right? You see that attitude, they feel like nothing bad can happen to this country. You tell them a scenario of something that could happen to America, they'll say, well, we'll just bomb them, They think this place will never see any sorrow. Nothing can happen. They feel like the best Air Force, best military, These people are very patriotic, okay? However, the Lord is going to destroy this place. That's why in verse 8 it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. And that day is the day of the Lord. Death and mourning and famine, and she shall be America shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, who judgeth her. So that's America's destination. Okay? Trump talking about make America great again. Biden talking about build back better. And the Bible stands supreme at the end of the day. The will of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai stands supreme at the end of the day. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 24. And it says, the Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have purposed, so shall it stand. Let me start from verse 23, actually. Let me start from verse 22. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon, America, the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water. Listen to this, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahweh of hosts. And besom is going to a broom. So, in that day, when the Lord destroys this place with nuclear missiles, it's going to be like a wall of fire sweeping across America. You see, and then verse 24, the Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand. You see? So there is no hope for this place. Okay? All right, I'm trying to find a certain scripture, Salakia. Just looking through something. But yeah, there's no hope for this place, man. Okay? Let me just see something. Okay. Let me get back up here again. All right. But yeah, back to this back of the dollar, right? So, here, United States of America. All right. So on the one side you have this eagle. Okay. You got that on one side, right? Then on the other side, you have this pyramid. Okay. And this goes to show you how America is the modern day Egypt. 2nd Esdras 15 goes to Deuteronomy 28 and 68, but it says Anuit Coeptus. Okay. Let's see what that means. Anuit Coeptus. Okay. This is right this is right across from that so-called Great Seal of America. All right, but Anuit Coeptus means he nodded as he began, right? But then also, remember, if you don't know, on the back of the very currency that we use, right? It says, under the pyramid, it says Novus Ordo Seclorum. And if you don't know what that means, okay, that is Latin for, let's type it up, it says a new order of the centuries, but it really just means new world order. Okay, here's what this devil wants to bring: a new, his NWO. He wants to bring it. Okay, you've heard people talk about it. Okay, you've heard people talk about it. You hear us talk about it. Okay, you know, I mean, it's been in the news. Even the news talks about it. Okay, but as we know, this devil is not gonna achieve that. All right, he's not going to, no matter what happens. Okay, he's not officially gonna. He's not gonna achieve exactly what he wants to do, because the Lord's gonna come back and stop him in his tracks. Okay, but that's pretty much the lesson, because it's just spiritual. Biden had done that. Okay, but yeah, man. So with that, giving all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that were well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom to the elect.